We're taking a closer look at the Supreme Court's involvement in one of the biggest missing children cases in the nation. This week, justices reinstated the conviction of Pedro Hernandez in the disappearance of Etan Patz. The 6-year-old boy vanished in 1979 and his body has never been found. In 2017, Hernandez was convicted of murder and kidnapping, but last year an appeals court ordered a new trial, saying the judge should have given a fuller answer to a question from the jury. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins me now for our weekly segment, The Constitutional Question. So this appeal, Jessica, involved Miranda rights. What are they and why are they important?
Well, this is a right, of course, that is situated in the Constitution, and it's named after a famous case. And it basically says if you're in custody and you're being interrogated by the police, then you should be read your rights, your constitutional rights. What do these generally boil down to? You have the right to remain silent. If you don't, what you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one can be given to you or appointed for you. And the idea is that this protects people's Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights. Specifically, think about the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. You need to know what that means, particularly when you're in a situation where you are, again, in a custodial situation and the police is interrogating you. What do we mean by this? This is not you're having a casual conversation with the police on the sidewalk. It means that you feel that you're not free to leave and that the questions could lead to an incriminating statement. That's essentially what we're talking about when we think about Miranda rights.
What does the law allow when it comes to answering questions from jurors?
This is a great question because in this particular case, what happened is that Pedro Hernandez, who was accused of killing Etan, what happened is that he initially confessed to the killing before he was given his Miranda rights. Then he confessed 2 more times after he was given his Miranda rights. And the question for the jury, the question the jury asked the judge was, well, what do we do if we think that initial confession before he got his Miranda rights, if we think that's a problem, what do we do with the second 2 confessions? Do we have to throw them out? And the judge just said no. When it comes to jury instructions, what the Second Circuit said in this case is the judge should have given a fuller explanation of what constitutional law is when it comes to these so-called serial confessions, one before Miranda and one after. The Supreme Court just this week essentially disagreed with the Second Circuit and thought the Second Circuit, as a federal court, did not have the power to second guess the state trial court in this situation.
Why does this case involve state and federal courts?
Yeah, so because the challenge in this case was actually based on federal questions, and specifically, again, about how the trial court judge answered that question of what to do with serial confessions, one before Miranda and one after. And it raised a federal question because what the Court of Appeals, the Second Circuit, said is that the judge really should have given a fuller explanation to the jury, to your question about jury instructions. And so even though we're talking about a state court case, a state criminal case, that case can raise federal concerns. And that's exactly why there was a challenge to the verdict and a challenge to the process that led to the verdict that went to federal court.
Okay, Jessica Levinson, thank you.